Today is an exciting day because we get to replace our stock valve cover with this one that we've been polishing and getting ready. We're also going to be replacing our ignition coils and our spark plugs. Do a little bit of maintenance that's needed after 129,000 miles with this car. So this is gonna be a little fun today. And of course, can't forget this Boomba oil cap for the valve cover. It just makes everything look seamless and just so much better and higher quality. This is probably the last time we're gonna see this with the cover for the valve cover. So it's a little sad, but at the same time, excited for new things. This is gonna be awesome. We got the cover off, and now it's just basically getting started on dismantling everything around, the valve cover, the wires, the upper intercooler pipe, and everything else in close proximity. So let's get started. And all right, I think we got everything around removed. We loosened up the bolts here, got rid of some of these brackets down here. Well, we're not going to be needing them anyways. I know we'll keep them stored for, for whatever reason. And there's this little bracket right here. And I don't think it's not supposed to come off. There's some lines running back here. So we're just going to leave that as is, just work around it. But yeah, got everything cleared, So goodbye, plastic valve cover. It was nice knowing you. And as we're removing these bolts from the valve cover, it's good that I kind of already knew there was a leak somewhere, but because of all this residue building up, but as you can see, we have a bunch of oil coming in through there, through these bolt entries right here. You can see the bolts as well, covered in oil. So yeah, just if you ever see anything like this, just know that you probably need to replace your gasket. Also, you want to be cautious when taking out these lines, these tubes. They get pretty worn out after being in there this whole time and going through heat cycles over and over again. So when you're pulling them out of like these plastic valves, just be careful. A trick that I used was just using a flathead screwdriver and then slowly pushing it off the base back there. So that kind of just gave me a peace of mind that I wouldn't just rip one of these hoses out. And as you can see, the 4B11 in all its glory. You have these big spinning rod thingies. I'm just kidding. I know they're called camshafts, but yeah, pretty cool to see this firsthand. But we will need to start cleaning up like all this residue and this gasket maker. We'll need to be doing that all over again. So yeah, keep moving on. And then I can't say I really see any kind of breaks. Maybe it's because of all the oil covering it up, but yeah, there was definitely some leaks going on through these smaller holes where the bolts were. So yeah, good thing we're fixing it. All right, and so we got the mounting surfaces cleaned up, and we put the gasket maker on here. Looks a little sloppy. Not too worried about it. I'm just worried about it doing its job. So now let's put on the piece de resistance. And then mine, Mitsubishi actually sent a gasket with mine. So maybe if you get it off eBay or somewhere else, they might not send it with the gasket. So you might look into getting a Felpro one, but this one came with the gasket from Mitsubishi. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in. Now I got something to stare at all day. I love how this looks. This looks awesome. So now we're gonna have to wait about an hour for the gasket maker to basically kind of cure, because we only gotten this hand tightened. So once the hour's up, we're gonna come back here and torque all the bolts to spec. But in the meantime, we might as well just replace all the spark plugs and yeah, and then just and then come back to this again. So since we drive a rally art, we're going to be replacing them with these NGK laser iridiums. These are DILKR7B6s. These are for the stock engine, so this is exactly what we need. We haven't done anything to modify the fuel system or the turbo system, so this will work just for now. And it's always handy to have one of these spark plug sockets. That way it makes the job a lot easier. There's a little magnet in there that'll help keep the spark plug in here on the socket. So yeah, we're gonna use this. And this is one of the spark plugs. They're actually not in bad condition. Just has a lot of carbon deposit. But yeah, they're pretty good. And as you can see, this is a new one. So yeah, just quite a big difference in terms of cleanliness. So yeah, I mean, spark plugs. Now that we have the bolts down the spec, we got the spark plugs installed. So now we just need to install these new NGK Ignition coils. And then of course, we'll just have to wait 24 hours before even turning on the engine. We also need to take off this PCV valve from the stock valve cover. It's 15/16 to take this off. And then after that, yeah, we're gonna install it back on the new valve cover. Well, looks like I got my first no-no. Yeah, it's broken. But the good thing is we don't have this car as a daily, so we can let it sit here until we get a replacement, if not a better one, and to replace the PCV valve that goes to, you know, the intake system. So I just won't get to see it turn on sooner than I thought. So oh well. Other than that, I mean, we're looking great. Also kind of cleaned up some of these bolts. So like those back there that were on the brackets, no longer have the brackets here anymore, just to make it look a little bit more presentable. You know, details are very important, so yeah. We'll continue. But I'm no quitter. We're gonna try to get this back on. We got some JB Weld here, just for testing purposes. But we do need to get a replacement for this. But now it gives me a good reason to maybe, you know, replace something over here that connects to that. You know, something just that might be fun to install as well. Maybe, I don't know. But we'll let this dry for 24 hours, and yeah, we'll be back at it again tomorrow. All right, and then so what I found out was that this hose that goes from the kind of the back of the valve cover to the intake system, this is too big for what the new valve cover has available. So yeah, this is gonna be I'm kind of jerry-rig this for now and see what happens. You know, just testing things out. But yeah, I think I'm gonna still need to get a bunch of more stuff to replace for the valve cover. And then this is all the hardware that we took off, just to make things look cleaner. So yeah, just make sure to hang on to this stuff. You know, might not know when you need it, or if you want to make some extra money, you could sell it as well. This is basically all the plastic that disintegrated as soon as I touched it. So if I ever need to use this again, I'm gonna have to go buy it. It's the next day, and we finally waited for the RTV to cure, as well as our little broken friend that we repaired with JB Weld, and it seemed pretty solid. And this time around, instead of using tools, I just kind of hand tightened it, and hopefully, you know, we can at least test it and just make sure there's no leaks or anything like that around, or anything obvious like that. So yeah. All right, well, it looks like it's running just fine. So the spark plugs and the ignition coils are just okay, but I think we have some kind of vacuum leak. You hear it? You hear this? It's like a bunch of noise whooshing through a metal pipe, which, you know, we just installed this aluminum valve cover. But, you know, since this pretty much broke and we repaired it with JB Weld, and this over here doesn't fit properly. I'm gonna assume that's probably the issue here. So yeah, might have to impulse buy something special that goes over here. But yeah, I think it's some kind of vacuum leak, so we'll see. Another thing that makes me believe this might be a vacuum leak is every time I switch the gears on the transmission, like drive, reverse, whatever, the car seems to rev up more, about 500 RPM more. So yeah, there's that issue. Well, I'm not 100% on what's going on, really, just because after running the car for a while and then coming back to it, it looks like I'm not getting those high revs anymore. So I'm not too sure if there's something being adjusted in the background that I don't know about, but we'll keep trying at this. Worst case, we'll need to buy an oil catch can for the PCV valve and the other valve over there. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Besides the issue that we're having, I don't see any immediate leaks or anything, so I'm gonna call the installation of the gasket good. You know, we'll keep monitoring this like we always do. So yeah. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.